Well, I guess we can go ahead and get started. I have half hour on my clock. Okay, well, hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Shannon Harris, and I am lead faculty and assistant professor in the Bachelor of Science in Health Information Management program here at UAGC. I will be the host of this session, The Discipline of Discipline, Staying the Course in Personal Mastery Techniques for Overcoming Burnout and Staying Connected to Your Why. By joining us today, you acknowledge that this session is being recorded and will be shared with TLC related materials. Microphones will be muted for this presentation, but we encourage you to post questions and comments in the chat. Also, we have enabled live transcription. If you would like to use it, click the live transcription button at the bottom of your Zoom window. Now I'm pleased to introduce to you David Larson, full-time instructor, and Dr. Michael McCabe, assistant professor from Grand Canyon University.
Hi, everyone.
Howdy.
All right, welcome. This is our presentation today. As Dr. Shannon Harris mentioned, we are the discipline of discipline, staying in the course in personal mastery. So today our presentation is going to focus on rediscovering your why and cultivating habits to help keep you aligned and steady so that you can avoid that dreaded word of teacher burnout.
And also, I personally want to make a couple of assumptions and disclaimers. You're here because you're a teacher that actually likes what you do. You have nothing better to do on a Wednesday afternoon at 12:30 except be here with us. And I'm going to assume like maybe a random curse word or five will not scare you away from our presentation. So if those are good assumptions, I think we can go ahead and get this going, right, Mike?
I think so. We're ready.
And I am presenting, so let me click away. Real quick, this is me. I have a black belt in online teaching, a former first, sixth grade teacher. I work for Grand Canyon University right now, the Department of Online Teaching and Learning. I am a high school swim coach, and I've been promoted recently to swim coach wizard because of some magic I did the other day. And I am unconfirmed and unsorted Hufflepuff. I really would have liked to have been a Gryffindor, but I know me, and I'm probably a Hufflepuff. So
Well, thanks, David. I am Dr. Mike McCabe. I'm an assistant professor here at Grand Canyon University in the Department of Online Teaching and Learning. I have been in education for the past 21 years. So my education career now is able to have an adult beverage. So that is very exciting. I'm a former middle school teacher, middle school counselor, and 1 year as an elementary school teacher, but we won't talk about that. I am the sorting hat that was animated that we purchased from Target that talks to you and determines your where you're being sorted at did tell me that I am a Gryffindor. So that's where I'm saying I am a confirmed Gryffindor. So sorry, Dave, that you're unconfirmed. Maybe we can get the sorting hat over to you and it will confirm your Hufflepuff status.
yeah, it'll definitely confirm that. Thanks, Mike. Moving right along.
All right. So we have a little activity that we're going to do with you to start. This is called a Mentimeter, which is an online engagement tool that allows you to create polls, questionnaires, quick questions to gauge your audience at during a presentation. So today what we're going to do is we're going to ask, what does discipline look like to you? Remember, today we're not talking about discipline as punishments. Rather, how do you identify with being disciplined as a person, a teacher, a coach, a mentor, professor, whatever? So what you can do is you can access this Mentimeter through the link that's on the screen, or you can scan the QR code. And what you're going to do is you're going to enter one word or short phrase for what discipline looks like to you. So how do you describe staying disciplined? So what your results are going to do is they're going to show up on our end as like a word cloud of frequently used words. So those that appear more frequently are going to be larger on that word cloud than the rest of the text. So we'll share with you what the group's feelings are and what your beliefs are in discipline in just a minute as everyone gets a chance to go ahead and put in their response. So David, I can tell you the word cloud is getting big right now.
Oh, good.
So we have right in the middle, we've got consistency, followed by focus, thoughtfulness, productivity, internal mastery, balance, purpose, motivation. Consistency just keeps getting bigger. So I think that is going to be one of the main focuses here of where our attendees are looking at is that consistency piece and then focus and balance. So I think that's a good place to pick up where we're at in this presentation.
All right, fantastic. Um, Dr. Tanya Moody, that is a Harry Potter reference. Different houses in a fictional place. All right, boys and girls, this is the paradox of discipline. It is not punishment. It is alignment. So kind of one of the things we need to, give me just a moment. So we've got consistency. I am a swim coach, and whenever I watch the Olympics, and I know everybody watches swimming in the Olympics, we see those flip turns in underwaters, and they look so effortless. Like they literally look like dolphins underwater. And I've been telling my son, who's also a swimmer, about watching NCAA championships, and everybody who is in the finals is doing amazing underwaters, and it just looks, like I said, it looks so effortless. And I kept telling him on the way to practice, hey, Levi, if you want to be good at this, you got to start working on your underwaters. "Ah, I know, Dad. I know, son. But day after day, I keep telling him this thing. I was like, hey, you better do this. If you want to be elite, you have to do these underwaters. You got to work your walls. And after preaching it enough, I had to start working on it myself and found out, man, this is hard to do. I was on a master's team and I started practicing these things. I'm like, man, I really stink at this. But eventually I got a little bit better and a little bit better. And I currently teach my students or my athletes. I'm a high school swim coach. In addition to being an online instructor, you have to be bad at something before you're good at something. And nobody likes to be bad at something, but you have to. You have to start somewhere, and sometimes you start bad and you can see your results and get better from there. Tommy Rivs, a famous endurance athlete, says there's always friction before flow. And I like that idea of like, man, maybe I'm not good at discipline right now, or maybe I have something to do, but there's always going to be some friction there before you start feeling it and getting into that rhythm. And then another person, Mike Field, says massive goals don't require massive action. It's just like little things, a little bit at a time. And I do have a lot of this presentation is brought to you in part by TikTok death scrolling. And this is a clip that I saw a little while ago, and I'm going to relate it, and you're going to hear a couple cuss words, but I feel like you're going to enjoy the message.
Your problem's not that you're poor, it's just you suck at being poor. If you want nice shit, you're just gonna have to take some old shit and make it nice shit. Being completely useless is a luxury of the rich. And you're not rich, you're poor. If you want to be poor and just have old garbage, then fine, you're good to go. But if you're going to sit around and cry about how you have nothing nice, but then you're doing nothing to have anything nice, that's your own fault. If you're able-bodied and broke, that's nothing but opportunity. And if you're like, I don't know how to fix stuff, yeah, no one does until they do. You ever met a baby who knew how to do flat roofing? You're going to suck at it at first. But you're poor. If you want it to be nice, you're going to have to just keep doing it until it's nice. I know people in their 40s and don't even know how their toilet works. You sit on it every day. Just sit on it backwards once and look at the innards. There's tons of old trash everywhere. Just take it home. Polish it up. Now you have nice stuff. You go to a job and you sell a dude your time for an hourly wage. Why not sell yourself some time? And in exchange for your time, now you have nice shit. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm rooting for you. So get out there, get some old shit, make it nice shit. You might fail, then try again. Doesn't matter. You'll get there eventually.
So I relate this to swimming, to life, to all the things. Like, it's not that you suck at doing this thing. It's not that you're not great at being consistent or have discipline. It's just you're not working on it, or there's opportunity to work on this thing to make it better. So we all have these different things, and especially today, we're going to talk about discipline and your why and how to avoid burnout and stuff. And you might not be great at this thing, but we can take this old thing or this thing that's not great in our life, and we can make it better. So there's a theory on self and self-regulation by Heatherton. Explains that we're aware of ourselves in context of others. And I don't know how many of you have ever seen those teachers who are taking boxes of stuff to grade home, and you see those other teachers that are just walking off like with nothing in their hands. And I always wanted to be the person that had nothing in their hands walking to the car at the end of the week or at the end of the day. And man, I figured out how to condense things so that I didn't have to take things home. It wasn't like a fast thing that happened at once. But I figured it out. I unlocked the matrix. And just like underwaters, I tell my athletes, like, you don't suck at them because you're not good at them. You suck at them because you're not really disciplined enough to work on them consistently. It takes a lot of work. And that brings us to our next clip here.
Here's the brutal truth why most youth players never make it. It's not injuries, it's not politics, and it's not even talent. Most youth players fail and never make it because they don't love the boring stuff. The wall work, the passing reps, the mental grind of showing up when nobody's watching or paying attention to them. They want the game day spotlight, they want the attention, but they don't want the early mornings and they don't want the sacrifices that come with it. Do you want to know who makes it? The ones that are obsessed with improvement, the ones that would rather get better than get likes. If you only train when it's fun, you're already behind. Fall in love with the process, not just the prize.
Okay, so another great message. Like, sometimes it's the boring stuff, like just the daily grind of things that we have to do in order to get better at things. Anthony Edwards says a lot of boring days in the gym and repetitive drills are what made him great. Like, greatness is boring. And one of the things, a quick way that you can kind of start getting better at discipline is habit stacking. It's where you take something that you do on your normal day and something that you want to do better on that thing, attach it to brushing your teeth. Oh man, whenever I brush my teeth, I'm going to start making my checklist on the mirror with a marker, with a Sharpie, or whatever it is. Like, stack something on your common day stuff that you can say, oh, I'm gonna work on this thing, and I'm just gonna attach it to this, and every time I do this thing, I'm going to work on this thing that I need to get better at. So habit stacking, discipline, take awful stuff, make it better, friction before flow. Whatever you need to work on in terms of discipline, we can do that, and we can work on it really well. Which brings us to our next piece. Mike, did you want to chime in? Anything you want to add to that before we move on?
No, I completely agree. I got two athletes in my house, two high school athletes. So one is definitely like, give me my practices after school. I'll do my late night stuff. And the other one with the ice hockey is the more early morning. His ice hockey practices are at 5:30 in the morning before school. So he's got to be up early. He's got to have that discipline to get up, go to practice, get off the ice, get his gear off, get home, get showered, get to school all before 7:30 and make it on time. So I completely agree with that. It's got to have that self-regulation and just having that attitude to get out there and do it.
Awesome. All right, moving right along. Your inner compass, discovering your why. This is probably my favorite slide, and I love sharing things like this with athletes and teachers and just people around me. Your self-awareness sustains your discipline. So whenever you're going through the thick of things, you have to remember what your why is. Like what gives you direction when motivation fades. Like we're going through this presentation, I feel like some of you might be like, yes, gonna be more disciplined. And then tomorrow it's like, all right, that was neat. I'm glad they recorded it. I might watch it. But it really does give direction in your life, in your teaching, and whatever it is, to have that why when things get tough. So I was lucky enough a few years ago to be part of a charity called Run Third, and it was started by Sean Astin. I want to play this clip. It's super silly because he's being an actor, even though he's supposed to be like just sharing about it. But I kind of want to get your thoughts on it. So let's check this out real fast. And of course, it has Rudy music in the background.
I've been long-distance running for 25 years. It's one of the most rewarding physical activities imaginable. It's hard, it's painful, and it's fun. It confers legitimacy on my day. It makes me feel alive. Simply stated, I love running, and I love running far. Above all else, running is selfish. Therefore, I run first for me. My family waits for me. My family listens to my stories from the road. My family has faith in me. My family loves me, trusts me, and depends on me. Therefore, second, I run for them. While running is in many ways about solitude, I rarely run alone. My thoughts are always with me. My hopes, my fears, my dreams, they come along too. From start to stop, I yearn to understand the greater meaning of my journey. With every beat of a runner's heart, with every pounding step, life itself is affirmed. And so, it costs nothing, yet can mean everything for any runner, for me, to make a simple dedication. To say that these steps I'm taking are not mine to own. It means something to me to declare that because I'm alive and I care for others, third, I run for you.
Rudy. Yeah, Sean, I was able to be part of that organization. He chatted with us at some point, and it's super neat. It took hold, and so when I'm talking to my athletes, it's like, hey, we swim for you, we swim for our family and who you represent, but who you run third for is up to you. I don't know if that's God, if that's your aunt who can't run, if this is a person that, whatever it is, like I try to give them something bigger than themselves to help motivate them through hard things. And I feel like that could be kind of the key for us, like for discipline. Like, man, I really want to do this thing, and I don't know if there's somebody relying on you. Maybe it's future students, maybe it's whatever goal that you ultimately want to achieve. Like, help that be your why behind what you're doing. And another one of my favorites that explains this well is Eric, the hip hop preacher. And he shares this about a basketball player, and I think you're gonna love it. And I'm gonna show this real fast as well. And
right, Durant scared me because when Durant score, he don't say nothing. He ain't getting nobody excited. He ain't trying to get LeBron pissed off or pumped up. He just score on my man and shh. Only thing he does at the end of the game, he kiss his mama, he hug his brothers. All right, I'm out. Game over. Shh. But the one thing he does, I don't know if you watched it, the first thing he does when he gets on the court is he does what? Touch them numbers on the front, touch them numbers on the back. And he's doing that for who? Which coach? His coach that was killed. His coach died at what age? And he wears what number? He got a why. He got a why. He ain't just playing for no championship. He not. You got to hear what I'm telling you. If y'all going to be great on that field, you got to have a why. You got to have a reason for why you do what you do. The problem with some of y'all, the reason why you don't give 120% every doggone time you get on the field, because you ain't got a why for what you do.
Awesome. Yeah. What is that why? What's the thing that is driving you, or that maybe once drove you and maybe you've forgotten? Because those are the things that really, like when we're in the middle of the grind, or just we're having our bad days, or the coffee was the worst and it spilt all over me. What is your why? So, hey, can you guys take just a quick moment? And I'm curious, you don't have to share if you don't feel comfortable about it, but in the chat, can you just type in just a real quick, what's your why? Why do you do this? Why'd you go into teaching? And if you say Summers, I'm not going to believe it, because you're working then too. If it's for healthcare, I'm not going to believe that either, because mine wasn't the greatest. But what's your why? Where is that? Where do you land? Rochelle, how often should you reset your why? Fantastic. I don't know. Whatever needs to get you through the next obstacle, I guess. My son said, I asked him, what do you hope to do one day? And he's like, oh, I want to have a successful Roblox game that I create. I was like, all right, well, what would make it successful? Well, I want to make money, Dad. I was like, well, if you make a game and people play it and it doesn't make money, is that still successful? He's like, well, no. And so his why was the money. And I think our success, or our why, can change based on maybe the project we're going to or the season of life we're in. Change
And I think
lives.
that some of the next slides might give some insight into Rochelle's question on resetting your why. If you
Oh, awesome.
once I talk about them, you'll know why.
Fantastic.
You might need to reset your why.
Yeah. Any others in there? To lead, lift, and equip others for success. Oh, cool.
It's
I like
good.
that. Learn and grow and adjust in
Seeing
equitable
others succeed.
environment. Lovely. Awesome.
I like it.
I have to add one more. I feel like this is story time with my 32 best friends here. My niece went to the Olympics for swimming, and she had all of the Olympians write down their favorite sets and a quote for my swimmers at the time. And this athlete, Nick Thoman, I don't even know. This is the most simple set: 25 fly fast, 25 free, 2 breast, 25 backstroke easy, 25 underwater fast. Like, there's not much to it, but I loved his little thing. Go until you can't go anymore. I threw up after 16 and finished through 20. So I gave this to my kids, and the first 7 or 8, they're still like chatting and happy. And 10 through 12, they're like, they're not super excited anymore. And it was numbers 13 through like 15. I had to start asking them what their why was. And every time I sent them off, I was like, guys, what's your why? Why are you doing this? Why is this worth it? Why are you struggling? What is this going to mean for you if you get through this and all these things? Because motivation was gone, their strength was gone, and all they had left was a why. Why am I doing this? It turned out to be an amazing thing. But I hope this helps you guys reflect on why you're doing these things and why it's so important to have that well of, "Oh, I'm doing it because of this," to help get you through all these things that maybe might not be super exciting, might be mundane, might be the daily grind, but in reality can help you kind of get through those and maybe find new horizons to achieve and to strive towards.
And I think that's the perfect segue, David, into this next part here. So these slides that we're going to be discussing next are about warning lights and protecting your why. So if you see you've got the yellow flashing light there as a warning, slow down, take caution. You have the lights that could appear on the dashboard if there's something wrong with your car, all the different things that could go wrong. Maybe it needs gas, maybe it's the engine, maybe something's going wrong with the anti-lock brake system or whatever it might be. Same thing comes to teachers and just humans as people. And this is where we want to start talking about burnout. It's a term that's kind of gotten a little more buzzworthy recently. It's what I wrote my dissertation on in school counseling. But burnout is a big thing in the helping profession, and teachers, we often are lumped into that helping profession because we give so much of ourselves to others that we start to neglect some of that self-care for ourselves. So we put others' needs before ours and just kind of put ourselves to the wayside until it gets to this point where what I want to talk about is like I said, burnout and how to catch it early. Burnout is something that starts like real subtle. So signs of like fatigue, emotional detachment, changes in your mood. But there's like 10 top 10 uh, signs of burnout according to research by Diesel. So these in order from 1 to 10. The first one is cynicism, being cynical about your job, about the students, about the school, about the principal, about the way the bathrooms are clean, the way that the student lunches are, whatever it might be, just cynicism about the whole place. Um, being irritable, just every little thing bothers you. Anxiety, just being anxious about, oh no, my fourth hour math is coming in. Oh, they're terrible. Um, it's I gotta walk into the school building and I know I've got that school meeting first thing in the morning. I've got a meeting with parents or whatever it might be. Low morale. Just that rah 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 is not there for the school. Um, like I said, fatigue, frequent illness, insomnia, losing sleep over it, unhealthy coping mechanisms. Unfortunately, drugs, alcohol, things like that. Um, Absenteeism, calling out for work, calling out multiple times a week for work, and not caring about calling out for work. Declining student outcomes. They're not doing well in their assessments, but you're not really assessing the data because you really don't care. And neglecting your responsibilities at school, that can boil over into neglecting responsibilities in your home life, personal life, things like that. So these are warning lights, like I said, things that appear on your dashboard. They're not flaws. So it's important to remember that burnout really isn't a sign of weakness, but it's just a sign of like misalignment. It's like on your car, it needs an alignment every now and then. You get new tires, you need an alignment. Um, Misalignment between your values and your daily actions, your workload, the capacity at which you're working at, um, affects your purpose and your path. So you just want to make sure that you have open communication. Just think about, take a moment, pause, think about what are early warning signs that maybe you have had if you've gotten to that point. Maybe you haven't, and that's great. But a lot of teachers in the profession have. Um, what shows up first when you start to feel a little off, like, the car's making some weird noise or whatever? What's some things in your profession as a teacher that just maybe you feel a little off on? Maybe it's being irritable, anxious, low sense of morale. Um, Building a self-awareness is key. So it allows us to take a course of correction when we notice those things early on. Um, so we can get that realignment before burnout takes place. So once again, like as David had you do before, if there's any like signs that you had, maybe some of those top 10 things I talked about, um, for signs of burnout, what are some things that maybe started for you to feel that felt a little off, that maybe lead to you needing to protect your why? I stop asking questions, start answering questions, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Apathy. Um, Screenshots are great. I'd love for you to share this out. Share this out, students. Share it out with faculty. Anxiety. Oh, absolutely. Yep. David even put it in there. Anxiety is a downfall. It piles up and it just stack, 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 stack.
But we see that in our students too, Mike. It's
Absolutely.
like it's just so overwhelming, these classes, and
Mhm.
sometimes they're just like, well, I'm too far behind now.
And then they give up, and then you don't get anything for them the rest of the course, and then they
Yeah.
wind up failing. You try to reach out to them, but they're too anxious to talk to the professor, and yeah. All right, excellent. So apathy, yeah, just not caring. Just going in and doing your job and doing it just sometimes not even the best you can, but just showing up. Absolutely, absolutely. So there are ways to manage and take a hold of this misalignment before it starts to, get off track and lead to burnout. But having a self-awareness, like I said, is something that can lead to that self-correction. So open communication. Open communication is key between family, friends, colleagues at work. You need to talk about it. Keeping things bottled inside will just let things fester. And then these are where those burnout things, symptoms will start to grow, and then they start to take control. So share your frustrations. I know it's sometimes hard to share with others what we're feeling, but when we keep that inside, that's when that burnout, like I said, can take control. And then you get those things like the apathy, the anxiety, the misalignment there. Um, Collaboration networks. So where you can bounce ideas off each other at work, share your best practices with learning, the professional learning communities, without fear of being criticized or or fears that these ideas might be stupid, because other teachers are probably feeling the same exact thing that you're feeling. So, and maybe they're a little anxious to share about it too. So if you have that ability to share with one another, that you can kind of go, I'm going through this right now. Hey, I'm going through something similar. You can talk about that with one another. Mentorship programs allow for a mentor-mentee relationship where maybe a veteran teacher can share and coach newer teachers on things like stress management, instructional practices, best practices, classroom management strategies, things like that. And then like personal check-ins, those sincere conversations that you can have with a colleague. You can talk about those burnout warning signs, um, peer support circles, um, gatherings where teachers can just kind of share, like I said, share those achievements, struggles, and feel not judged. And then social events. Potlucks, movie nights, sporting events, bowling, going to sporting games, celebrations, happy hour, whatever it might be, that you can get that um, sense of community with your colleagues. And it doesn't have to be every colleague in the school, but just like ones that you trust and ones that you're close with, so that you feel like you're not siloed and just there by yourself. All
Hey,
right.
Mike, how do you, I don't know if you've gone through this at all in any of your research, how do you avoid creating like an echo chamber? So like all of these things are validated, but the other person starts validating the exact same things, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's not resolved. It's still anxiety. It's still apathy. Did you find any of that in your research either?
I really didn't find any of that in
Okay.
my research. Excuse me. But that can lead to, like that self-fulfilling prophecy that like everything's bad, everything's terrible. So they are going through it, I'm going through it, so must just be all bad. that's maybe where some of these things that we're going to talk about a little later of maybe seeking some outside assistance or professional help um, might might be of benefit, because it can get to the point where some people just sit in their car and just dread going into work every day because of just that level of anxiety or that level of fear, or just being so disengaged and not wanting to even face the day of school or going into work. um, that is something that happens, where people just get so detached from their job that they drive there and they go, and sometimes they just don't even go in.
Yeah.
Just like I said, having people who share values like you do. Um, there's certain terminology that was used in schools. We won't get into it now, but we used to call them the BMGs, the people that would just, why the teachers' lounge may not be the best place to have social events, or make a best friend there, because it's not always the most uplifting environment. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on, and we're going to talk about small wins, big shifts, and the practice of staying the course. So you want to stay the course through healthy habits. So now we talked about, awareness and alignment. We need to move into actionable pieces. So specifically through things that are called implementation intentions. So these are small intentional habits that help kind of bridge that gap between what we want to do and what we actually do. So we all know that habits don't form overnight. They come through like small, consistent, intentional choices that we make and we implement every day. So this leads to what is the psychology of self-discipline, which is often also referred to as self-control or willpower. So in Duckworth's research, they stated that this is effortful regulation of the self by the self. So it has to be internal. So it has to start with you recognizing that, okay, maybe I'm misaligned a little bit. I'm starting to feel some of these symptoms of burnout. What can I do about it? So, according to the APA, the American Psychological Association, there are three characteristics of self-discipline. Um, the first one is the strength to pause and resist impulsive reactions that could compromise our commitments. So think first, is this best for what I'm trying to achieve? If not, remember, recite your commitments like David said earlier, have them written down somewhere. Maybe they're written on your mirror, you have them next to your computer, on your desk, whatever it might be. Remember why you're doing what you're doing and why are you committed to doing it. The second is the discipline to postpone immediate gratification in order to achieve meaningful long-term goals. So we've become a society of instant gratification, right? If I need something, I can Amazon Prime it. If I want to hear a song, I can Spotify it. I don't have to sit around with my radio and my cassette tape ready to hit record just at the right moment. Um, Anyone else do that? No? Maybe just me. I don't know. I thought making mixtapes from the radio songs were cool back in 1989 or 90 or whatever it was. Um, so things that are worth our time take commitment. And to be honest, it took me 7 years to earn my PhD. My original plan was 3. Life happened. 3 chairs later happened. Um, it was a meaningful, long-term, personal and professional goal of mine. Immediate gratification was not an option for that. So some things are not going to be immediate for you. They are going to take time, and you do have to nurture them over time through your commitments. And then the ability to respond calmly, rationally, rather than through like emotional impulses. So the old adage says, think before you speak, because we can say the first thing that pops into our mind. Often, though, we're not listening to hear someone out. We're generating our own response or impulsive way to respond as they're talking. So we could miss something key that someone's saying, but because we're generating our own responses while they're talking, we're really not listening to them. So like I said earlier, our youngest son plays high school JV hockey at his high school. The coaches and staff have explicitly told parents to please implement the 24-hour rule. So if there's something we didn't like about the game, the calls, the refereeing, we're asked to wait 24 hours, reflect, gain our thoughts, compose them, and then we can approach the situation more with like a level head rather than impulse. Because the first thing, notice it just a couple games ago where um, a hockey player got laid out on the boards. Parent wasn't happy. Saw the parent come right off the stands, head right over to the bench, start yelling at the other team's coach and whatever. We do that through impulse and just immediate reaction. However, it's probably not the best thing to do because then that parent wound up getting kicked out of the game. So has there ever been like we can think about this through like buyer's remorse, something that you wanted, but you really didn't need it. So, that thing that you really needed, but you wanted, just sits around, just, put it aside. I really wanted it at the moment. I really didn't use it. Now I can't return it because the time frame has expired for me to return that item. So now you can just give it as a white elephant gift or something like that, Um, this often, this relates to creating new habits, new routines. Those can help you get small wins, but big shifts over time can help you stay the course in your self-discipline. Research shows that it takes like 59 to 66 days to create a new habit and for it to become automatic. It's so easy to give up in those moments because it's not instant gratification. I mean, I ate salad last 5 nights for dinner, but I didn't lose 10 pounds. Or, you know, why don't I see results going to the gym? I'm going 3 to 4 days a week because research says that over 3 to 4 months it takes for a noticeable difference. But people will give up. People will be like, it's not instant. They toss it aside. They say, forget about it. I don't have time for it. We don't give up on a difficult student after one time at redirecting them, right? One way to build that consistency is to state something like, if X, then I will Y. So for example, waking up in the morning, getting ready for work, spend 5 minutes reviewing my goals for the day. Or if I feel overwhelmed, then I'll take 3 deep breaths before responding. These are intentional ways to help you meet your daily personal goals and keep consistent with them. So what I want you to do right now is just take a moment to think about those micro discipline habits, small things that are simple and specific that you can commit to. So you can think about it to yourself. You can write it down as your X and Y statement. These small steps will help you be more successful from intention, like I intend to do this, actually doing it. If you're comfortable with it, you can share it in the chat. I'll give you like 30 seconds or a minute to type those in. But just like small things that you can do, something you could implement even right now after this session to help you be more intentional and leading to an implementation habit. Okay, Tanya, yep. Being intentional to plan your day out, helping you stay organized. 5 minutes. If and then statement, David. Yep, there you go. My X and my Y. This is a big one. Scheduling me time or personal time on a calendar. I know our bosses here at GCU every Monday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dave, like their first hour or their first 2 hours of the day are like blocked off by
Yeah.
our dean intentionally, so that they can schedule their week, kind of figure out everything, reflect on what they need to do. Scheduling time for reflection. Yep. Don't be afraid to put your lunch on that calendar too. Schedule your lunch because so many times, I can't tell you how many times it's come time to get ready for making dinner and oh, I didn't eat breakfast or I didn't eat dinner. I didn't stop and take a break for the last 5 hours. That gets overwhelming. Oh, right? A lunch? What is that? I haven't heard about that for a while. Back to prioritizing tasks. Yep. Have them written down. Breaking bigger tasks into smaller one. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because those bigger tasks, you just see the bigger task. You don't break it down like, okay, I could do this today and maybe this tomorrow and then this the next day and then I'm done with it. Here, day one, oh, I had other things to do. Day two, oh, I had other things. Then comes day three when you have to do the whole thing and then it just becomes way too overwhelming. Absolutely. All right, perfect. We are going to move on and we're going to talk about rest and renewal because that's huge. That's key. Super important. So we've been told all our lives to get like 8 hours of sleep a night, eat a healthy breakfast, to fuel your mind and your body for the day, amongst
Yeah.
like a zillion other things that we're told to do to take care of ourselves. Make sure you get enough protein, make sure you do your skin routine and all those other things. Um, Easier said than done, right? So I will tell you that I was still awake finishing tasks and finishing laundry and things like that until after 1 o'clock this morning. So I didn't practice that myself. That's not an everyday thing, but we get there. I mean, 5 o'clock alarm comes really early when you're still up after 1 o'clock in the morning doing things that you need to do. So we know that rest restores focus and creativity. Usually I get there, sometimes things pile up. We get sluggish, we're tired, we're unfocused if we don't have enough time to rest and renew ourselves. I think most of us have been there or currently in that space, hopefully not on a regular basis, but we have been there so we can relate. So let's talk about micro breaks. So micro breaks are what are called in short, intentional pauses in our day, usually like maybe 30 seconds to 5 minutes, to help us reset, refocus, reduce stress, improve our overall well-being. So they're designed to actually give our mind and body some rest without disrupting our productivity during the day or our instruction. Um, David and I are online instructors, so we're working with students all day long. But like I said, we could be there and it can be 5 hours later and we didn't get up. Like we're constant in our classes, answering questions, grading, responding to students, engaging with them. And then 5 hours just whoop, flies right by and we did not even take a break. So here's some ways, like 2 to 3 ways that we can use those micro breaks daily to not like give a major disruption to what we're doing. So one is like movement breaks, stand, stretch, walk around the house. If you work from home, walk around your classroom, walk down the hallway of the school. Encourage students to join you in a quick stretch or a brain break. This movement helps them boost their energy, refocus their attention. So it's not just for you, it's for them, because we know that students are less and less attentive now, and they need those movement breaks in order to kind of get those jitters out. and reset. So you can have mindful moments. Take a minute, close your eyes, breathe deeply, center yourself before transitioning to a new class or a new task. Guide students in a quick breathing exercise or gratitude exercise. Just kind of reset the classroom atmosphere. You can have mini social or joyful resets, sharing a quick positive quote, a funny meme, a funny classroom moment, a brief song clip, just something to lighten the mood so you can connect with your students briefly, or if it's maybe it's a colleague, just share something funny with them. Just kind of gets out of the monotony of the day, and just refreshes your emotional energy, and it can foster that community. So these small breaks can make a big difference in sustaining our energy, our focus, our creativity, and our patience, especially through a busy teaching day. We need rest. It's renewal, it's not withdrawal. So rest isn't a sign of weakness, it's not a sign of disengagement. It's a vital part of our purpose and our performance. So when we rest, we're not stepping away from our calling, we're strengthening it to live out our profession and do it the best that we can. Rest allows our minds to reset. It changes our emotions, our balance, our creativity, and reignites our passion and our drive. Gives space for clarity, perspective, gratitude. Just after our exercise, our muscles need time to renew and recover. The same thing, our mind needs that in order to be resilient and inspired. So there's many ways to achieve that rest and mindfulness. There's even apps that can help. So on the screen, I've listed two. There's two that are popular called Headspace and Calm. Headspace has actually been around since 2010, and even some insurance companies and HSAs pay for their employees to have it. Obviously, these don't replace going to a doctor. If you find yourself stuck in a rut or in a cyclical pattern of those, those 10 burnout things that we talked about already. It may be worth talking to your doctor about, may be worth seeking some mental health counseling. If you're just stuck there and you can't get yourself out of it, because that can lead to burnout, and then ultimately we don't want that to happen. It's not a place where you want to be in, and talking to a mental health professional can maybe help bring some clarity and refocus and rejuvenation. But what we're going to do right now is we are going to take a quick moment to reset just for 1 minute. But I want you to be fully intentional, the best that you can be right now. I know it's 1:23 in the afternoon. Where we're at might be 12:23 or 2:23 or whatever it might be. So what I want you to do first is I want you to sit comfortably in your chair, feet on the floor, shoulders relaxed, and close your eyes if it feels right to do so and you're in a space where you can do that. I want you to take a deep breath in, hold it for a second, and release it fully. Now we're going to do that again. Deep breath, inhale, pause, exhale. I want you to notice your body loosening, your mind clearing. Now, bring your attention to the top of your head. Slowly scan down your body. Relax your forehead, your jaw, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, all the way down to your feet. Take another deep breath. Take an energizing breath in and out. Imagine drawing in focus, creativity, energy. Let go of the tension distractions, or fatigue. One last inhale, feeling alert, feeling ready. Exhale, open your eyes. Hopefully you notice a difference. That brief pause wasn't withdrawal, it was fuel. Even a 60-second reset can boost focus, creativity, and resilience. Carry that energy forward with you as you move on to your next part of the day. And remember, the strongest, most focused people aren't the ones who push nonstop. They're the ones who pause, reset, and come back ready to win. All right, David, I'm passing it off to you.
And Mike, I like took a little nap there for a second, man. That was so relaxing. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. I feel like we need so much more of that in our fast-paced day, just to take a minute, take a beat, and breathe and just kind of relax a little bit. That felt so good. My goodness. Guys, we are running out of time, and I love this slide, the power of community, talking about mentorship. And I am so lucky in our chat today is Crystal McCabe, Dr. Crystal McCabe. And she, last time we presented here together, she kind of took me under her wing. It was super rad to be part of this conference. And she told me, I confirmed that she got the warm fuzzies from being my mentor. And but through the research that I've seen, not only do mentors have like this satisfaction at work, but it also boosts their performance at their work, whatever they're doing. I just recently came back from a city championship where a mentor of mine that I coached with for 12 years at a rival high school, uh, I raced against him at this city meet, and I thought I was going to beat him in the first relay, and he skunked me. But in order to do that, he had to move some guys to that relay, which left one of his other two relays incomplete or less than. And my boys raced him in that relay and the next one, and won it by like a body length. It was amazing. Everybody felt so excited, and and I was super excited, but I was kind of sad for my friend who had lost this relay for the first time in probably more than a decade. And I look back at him, and he's super excited for me, but he can't show it because he's got to feel bad for his guys. And we chatted afterwards, and he's like, David, that was one of the most like bittersweet things. And he's like, bittersweet doesn't say it because I loved watching you having developed into this coach to be able to coach these boys to do that thing. But I was also so proud of like watching this happen. And that word bittersweet kind of stuck with me. I was like, man, there's got to be a better word for that. And I heard one later on in that week. And the word that I found, and I feel like this is the word that might describe maybe how you guys might feel when you're mentoring, and it's not the most satisfying thing in the world, but you feel something. The word is apricity, apricity, and it describes the warmth of the sun in winter. So helping these people out could be just the warmth in like your wintry situation you might be in. Like if you're in the middle of the grind, being able to help somebody and mentor them and get them through things it might be the most rewarding thing, and it might amplify your why and help you really like accept, man, I'm not feeling the greatest in my job or these things, but me helping that person, that does it for me. And watching them come back and say thank you and appreciate these things. And maybe they're like my kids and they don't appreciate anything. They won't tell you ever. But the appreciation is likely there. And I know we got to end. We got to park this plane here pretty quick. But remembering and kind of sharing these things with others makes it less about you and more about them, and that gives you purpose as well. So help strengthen your why and choose to be a mentor to others. And not only do you help them out, but you grow your why and you get more satisfaction out of it likely than they do themselves. If you have a chance, check out this video. It's called An Anatomy of a Teammate, and it's a really neat thing. So if you have a second, check that out. You will not be disappointed. And I think, boys and girls, that is kind of wraps it up. Remember, discipline is not a 4-letter word. Know and protect your why. Practice getting these small wins, and take a minute to breathe, as Mike says, and share your love for teaching, for life, or whatever the things are that you're in. Share that with others, and let them know how you feel about it, and them perhaps, and it will enrich and make your life even more meaningful. So is there any other comments or things you guys want to share that you feel you have to get out? Now's the time. Oh, good, Teresa. It's so important.
Deep breathing. We thank you so much for attending today. I know you had a lot of other options to choose from with presentations, and we do truly appreciate you coming here and staying here, and hopefully reinvigorate and reflect on your why.
Well, thank you so much, David and Dr. McCabe. What a great session. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of TLC. And Rebecca has also placed the link in the chat for you to nominate a session for awards. So I hope everyone has a great afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, guys, we'll see you.
Thank you.